Hey guys, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a fun video and it is going to be talking about books with tropes I hated, but I actually really enjoyed the book. So for this, I only have a total of 7 books because there's a lot of books that I have read with tropes I hate, but I actually really did enjoy the book. And I had a hard time with narrowing it down to 7, but I figured 7 was a good number. 10 was too much, 5 was too little. So 7 is right in that sweet spot. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into this video. So book number 1 is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Now this book has one of the tropes that I absolutely hate, and that is the miscommunication trope. I could go my entire life without that trope. I think it is the most pointless trope of all of them. But I actually really enjoyed this story. I thought it was very cute and I can't wait for the movie to come out. I feel like it's going to be really well done and I'm hoping it gives justice to the book. But I really enjoyed this book even though it had a trope that I hated. Number 2 on my list is a little bit of like a kink trope, and for me that was Desperate Measures by Katie Robert, and this does have the daddy baby girl trope. I just find it so icky, but the way that it was done in this book was actually very pleasant. I didn't think it was overly done, and I felt like there was a lot of consent given to the main characters and whatnot, so I didn't find it too icky, but it was still like, you know, a trope I didn't like. But I really enjoyed that book, and if you have not read the Wicked Villain series by Katie Roberts, I highly recommend them. They are so good. They are Disney After Dark. It's where the villain gets the girl, and they are so good. I love it. Number 3 is the whole virgin sacrifice, and for me that was Bound by Love by Cora Riley. This is book 1 in the Bound by Honor series. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the virgin sacrifice. I think it's outdated. I think it is disgusting, and I know it's in a lot of mafia romances, and I know that is how it is today with like mafiosos and mob bosses and stuff like that. I just find it gross in books. It's not my thing. The amount of times I've had to read about a woman losing their virginity is just, it's a lot, and I don't think it is very like good to have it out there. But overall, I didn't hate the series. I didn't hate the book. I just did not like that trope. I actually really loved the book. It's one of my favorite in the series. Luca and Arya's story is by far my favorite out of all of them, with the exception of Gianna and Matteo. I really do love their book. I wish they had a longer book, but I loved them nonetheless. So that's number 3 on my list. Number 4 is the fake dating / codependent trope, and that is Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This whole series is about 2 addicts who are very codependent on each other. While I don't think that is a bad thing, the fake dating trope is not my favorite, and I know that they were just doing it to hide their addictions, but I feel like it could have been done in a better way. But I still really loved the book. It was one of my favorites. It's hard to read stuff about, you know, addiction and things like that, and when you mix the codependency with the fake dating with the addictions, it gives you a big mess. So overall, I really enjoyed the series, and the fake dating really only lasted for like a third of the first book, and then they were actually dating, so it didn't really last that long. And the codependency, that's a thing throughout the whole series. Like the whole 10-book like Calloway series crossover with the Addicted to You series, like it is shown that they're very codependent on each other. They cannot live without each other. They have to be together every day. I mean, they can be separated, but it's like very hard for them to be separated. They don't like to leave each other. So that's something that you kind of have to get used to while reading that book. But overall, I really enjoyed this series. I thought it was fantastically done. And I can't wait to get to the children's series. I have not even started it. And I know that it is a 10-book series, 10+ book series. I have all of the books currently out. So I need to get on it. I know this. It's just going to take me a minute to get to them. Number 5 on my series, or on my list, is love triangles. I don't really like love triangles, but my favorite love triangle was in the Clockwork Angel series by Cassandra Clare. This was between Tessa, Jem, and Will, and it was done very, very well. I thought that it would have been lovely to see all 3 of them together, but we knew what was going to happen pretty early on in the series. But I'm not a fan of love triangles, but my favorite book that has that in that has to be Clockwork Angel, like the whole series. It's so good. So that's number 5 on my list. Number 6 on my list is Oblivious to Love. And I have 2 for this. So the Oblivious to Love trope is one of the ones that I absolutely hated. However, I thought it was necessary in these 2 books. First is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I thought Olive being completely oblivious to being in love with Adam, or oblivious to the fact that Adam was in love with her, was super cute, and it did add a nerdy element to the story. I thought it was used very well. And then the other one is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. The entire time, oh my god, what is her name? Ren is very oblivious to Crew and his feelings. Like, clearly us as the reader, we get both point of views, so we can see that Crew is falling for her just as much as Ren is falling for him, and it's very cute. But in the back of Ren's mind, she was like, oh, this guy's just getting with me because he wants to, like, he doesn't love me, blah blah. Like, it was very well done, and I actually really enjoyed that book. A lot of people didn't like the book, or like they would DNF it because they only read like the first 20% of it or something. The book does get better. I think that a lot of people just give up on it too quickly, but overall I thought it was a really good book and I highly recommend it. And then the last book I have on my list is the whole I did it for you type thing, or I did it for love, like the third act breakup or whatever. And the best example of this is Him by Elle Kennedy and Serena Bowen. In that series, one of the characters does something for the other, and he does it purely out of love and wanting to be with the other one. And so that, I don't want to, without giving any spoilers away, that added an extra element into the story that I thought was very relevant, and I'm hoping that it continues on into book 2. I have not read the 2nd or the 3rd yet. They are on my August TBR. I will be getting to them. But those are the books with tropes I absolutely hated, but I actually really loved the book, and I thought they were so cute. And then I want to say another one of the books that has the, I don't want to say Daddy Baby Girl, because that, like, I was trying to figure it out, because I'm not a big fan of the Daddy Baby Girl thing. However, I will say, like, people give off like daddy energy or like zaddy energy, and like that kind of thing is one of those, like, that's kind of convoluted. And I really do think that Crew Lancaster from A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime gives off this like incredible like daddy vibe, which is kind of weird because in the book he's 18 and I'm like 10 years older than him, but like it's still a really cute story. So other than those, I think that's really all I have for this video, you guys. I'm sure it was really short, and I would love to know some of your thoughts on tropes that you hated but you actually really liked a book that had that trope in it. I think it's very interesting that a lot of different people have different feelings on certain tropes, and I would love to know if you guys agree or disagree with me. And I think that's gonna be it. I do have some social media links down in the description box below, so if you want to check me out on Instagram or Goodreads, they are there for you. I do post a lot of my content on Instagram. It's one of my main sources of content. I post more there than I do on YouTube. Clearly, at least you can see for the last couple of weeks. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.